Hi guys, and welcome to episode 15 of On the DL, Dakoda.
Lan?
And today we are covering radio frequency lipolysis and skin tightening. Didn't fuck it up.
You did so well.
Today we're covering a very popular skin treatment. It's been popular for a few years now. In terms of rejuvenating your skin. Definitely, let's break it down. Lan, give us a quick overview of exactly what it is and how it works.
Yeah. Okay. So RF for short is what everyone refers to it as. So we'll go with RF from now on. So we don't have to do radio frequency lipolysis every 5 minutes.
We don't have the time.
So RF basically claims to improve the look and texture of the skin, reduce cellulite and reduce fat. The way it sort of works is it sends radio frequency energy into the layer sort of just below the skin, or just below the skin, and it creates a heat response and a slight injury response, which tells the body to sort of flood the area with things that are going to fix it, right?
How hot does it get?
So it's not hot enough for you to register any pain. So for the vast majority of people, they say their pain level is like a 2, which is very low, or below that. So from a pain perspective, really not a big issue. But when the body goes into this sort of repair mode, it produces more collagen and it tries to produce more fibrous tissue. And therefore, it creates more elasticity in the skin, so on and so forth. The heat component also is advertised to break down fat cells, essentially, or make the fat cells easier to break down so that the lymphatic system can get rid of the fat more easily. So this is basically how the system is supposed to work, and this is how it's supposed to give those 3 results. Now, when we looked into it, basically almost every clinic that provides this service tells you that you need a bare minimum of around about 8 to 10 treatments to show an effective change in terms of, particularly in terms of cellulite and fat loss. Skin, maybe a few less, and it's probably, look, if I was to just go straight out opinion on it, I can sort of see some relevance to the benefits in skin tightening. I can sort of, looking at the science behind it, I can sort of say, I could see how that could be beneficial. Whereas from a cellulite perspective and from a fat loss perspective, I find it very difficult to sell myself on this one.
I don't think the effort involved really is worth it, because it's not going to, they don't really last longer than 6 months, maybe, depending on person to person, depending on what kind of treatment you get, and obviously what you're getting the treatments for in the first place. And it just gets way more complicated. Like, you can get 1 treatment a week, you can get 2 to 3 treatments a week, and I think it depends on what your overall goal is. But if it doesn't last longer than 6 months, then it's a continuous thing that you need to continuously add in every single week.
Well, and that's it. So even the clinics themselves will tell you that the effects will only last whilst you're having the treatment, and for, as you said before, up to 6 months after treatment. And they do recommend that you continue treatment just less frequently as time goes on to get the best results, which means that there's a monetary outlay and a time outlay every single week. So most of these treatments will take somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes, depending on the area that's being covered. So smaller area, less time, bigger area, more time. So you're setting aside, let's say, average it out to about 30 minutes a week, and average it out to around about $50 to $60 per session on a continuous basis, right? So
forever, really, as long as you want, the effects to keep going. You're making a lifelong commitment, and then is it worth it?
And that's where it comes in. So I think Dak and I try and present a really balanced approach on this. And for some people, that investment might actually be worth it. For some people, they have the time, they have the money, and they find the benefits worthwhile, right? What we're trying to sort of, I guess, show people though is the advertising kind of gives this idea that you'll go in, you'll have 5 treatments, and then your problem is solved. And because your skin is now, exactly, and because your skin is now tight, or you have less cellulite, or all of a sudden you're going to be happier. This is where you and I don't like these ideas. We don't like these ideas because we know that after 6 or 7 treatments, it's not going to have changed anything about how you feel about yourself. You might, you know, like your skin better for 5 minutes, or you might think more positively about yourself when you're putting your makeup on the next day. But overall, it's not fixing the problem, is it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, you know, it's like people who want to try and lose weight and improve their life, or think they're going to get these few treatments and they're going to spend, you know, from $1,000 to $5,000, and they're going to look a lot better, and they might feel a little bit more confident, and that can lead to a little bit more happiness. But overall, if you've got a real issue, or your life is heavily affected by what you look like, or more so a line on your face, or, you know, a little bit of bump on the cellulite, like if you're willing to spend that much money and you think it's going to make you happier, most cases it won't, or it will in the short term. But I mean, you can spend money on other things that'll make you happy, that aren't going to cost an arm and a leg.
And also, you know, we've got to look at this from the perspective of what's making the real difference. Because if you do go into one of these clinics for these treatments, usually along with the treatment, they're going to recommend that you drink more water, do some exercise, and eat a clean diet. Now, if you're going to do all of those things, is it really the RF that's making the significant difference, or is it the fact that you are now nourishing, hydrating, and improving your movement that are actually having those knock-on effects? Because if we look at it from a fat loss perspective, calories in, calories out is going to have a much greater effect than any radio frequency treatment, right? So being in a calorie deficit, if you go from eating a junky diet to eating a clean diet, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be eating less calories without even realizing that you've done it, right?
I saw a it was a detox tea. I've spoken to you about it before.
I love these.
And it, I mean, it's pretty much just a laxative that makes you poop.
Most of them are,
and it's just horrible. And I remember seeing it it was just on a TikTok, and the girl was like, I lost all this weight. I lost all this weight taking this tablet. I mean, it makes me really sick, but it's definitely worth it. And I was like, okay. And then I kept reading, and then she also said that she cut out junk food as well. So she did both together. And I'm thinking, like, for one, you don't know what the hell is in that tea, and you don't know what the tablet or whatever it is, you don't know what's in it. And if it makes you poo and lose weight that fast, can't be healthy. But also, like, what about cutting out junk food? Like, for instance, in the RF treatment, you know, it's really great for your skin, but also cutting out junk food, you know, limiting it to, you know, maybe once or twice a week is going to have a huge impact on your skin anyway. So it's like, I mean, obviously both combined, maybe you get a little, you know, that extra 1%.
Exactly. We're not saying that it doesn't have an effect. We're just saying, are you willing to spend $50 a week every week and 30 minutes in a chair every week to get that 1%? Or would you rather spend the time and energy changing your overall lifestyle, which will have tenfold effects? You know, it'll make you feel better psychologically, physiologically. You know, everything's going to get better. So when these treatments are being sold, in my head, I always go through sort of a positives and negatives, and a where would I recommend it, where wouldn't I recommend it. And like I said at the start, from a skin perspective, skin tightening perspective, I think I could almost argue for it here and there. Probably not the most.
Depends on the person.
But depending on the person.
There are easier ways.
That's it. But we can see
Yeah.
some validity there, and we can understand how it would be used there. From
Yeah.
a cellulite perspective, look, honestly, the biggest thing that's going to help improve cellulite is increased blood flow and reduction in fat overall, right? So
Yeah.
you could kind of argue for RF, but honestly, from the results that I've seen and the studies that I've seen, it's not a significant enough benefit to have a long-term impact on reducing your cellulite.
It's just disappointing because they sell it like it will fix it.
Yeah.
And I've seen everything, you know, like when you use bio oil on cellulite or stretch marks, like, oh sweet, I'll just rub this on and it'll just get rid of it. And it doesn't happen. And I think that is more damaging than actually accepting you have cellulite and it's there. It doesn't make you any less beautiful, or it doesn't make you any less of a person, but definitely going into something thinking it's going to completely get rid of it, that is a product, a cream, a treatment, it's just it's bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the sales pitch really at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, if the only reason they were selling this treatment was for skin tightening, they'd have a very limited audience. They probably wouldn't
100%.
make a huge amount of money out of it. And particularly if it worked so well that you only had to have it done for 6 months and then the results were permanent.
And then you're done.
They have no clients.
Everyone would do it. Everyone would do it, but
Yeah. And again, that's not saying that it doesn't do anything. It's just saying that every company has to run. There has to be a good marketing strategy behind any company for them to be able to make money out of it. And unfortunately, in the industry as it is, a lot of these companies can make claims as long as they say, you know, with the exception of this, or as long as you this, or da-da-da.
The fine print. The fine print.
Right.
You got to read that fine print.
Exactly right. They're tightening up on that.
Yeah, 100%.
They're tightening up on that now, but it's going to take a long time for it to come into effect, and it's going to have a detrimental effect on some things that should be left on the market as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think my biggest issue is not necessarily the treatment itself. It's the way that they sell it, which obviously they have to because they're trying to make money. But I think it's what people don't realize is the mental strain that it has on people. That, and then also, you know, why does that line on your face matter so much? You know, definitely when I have smile lines, and I had an extra smile line there, like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. And then I looked up like, I was like, oh, maybe I could get Botox, you know, maybe I'll just do something. And I was like, I don't fucking want Botox. I don't want Botox. I was like, fuck that shit. And now I don't even care about them anymore.
No.
But I think
there is a lot of pressure, isn't there? Like with social media and the standards that people are putting out there today, it's almost like you're incomplete if you don't tick all of these boxes. So we can see why people go down those routes, and we're actually not judgmental at all about people who decide to go down them.
No.
If that's your choice and that's what you want to do, own it. Good on you. Yeah. 100%. But we don't want people to feel like they have to be adequate or to be good enough, you know? Yeah. I
think the issue is that people want to be perfect, or they want to be perceived as perfect, and only when you really get to that point of being perfect do you actually realize that it doesn't actually make you love yourself anymore. It doesn't make you any happier, and I mean, the people around you the people that matter don't actually care at all.
They never noticed in the first place.
No. Only you do, you know, only you care if you're a little fatter than you were 6 months ago. Only you care that you have an extra line on your face, or you know, I don't know, you don't look what you did 10 years ago. Like, I think people have to get to that point of being perfect to actually realize that it doesn't actually matter. And I think, you know, this is a great example, and unfortunately people have to maybe waste their money to realize. Yeah, 100%.
And that's, you know, it all comes back to the Band-Aid approach. It all comes back to all of these little things that we're doing that improve things in the moment, but don't necessarily improve things overall. So we keep trying to bring people back to this idea of implementing systems that you can do for the rest of your life that will be beneficial on more than one level. Exercise, it's going to reduce body fat, and therefore it's going to reduce cellulite. It's also going to improve blood flow, which will reduce cellulite, winning.
Yes.
But on top of that, you're going to feel strong. You're going to feel motivated. You're going to step into the gym. That's it. Exactly right. You're going to step into the gym and feel like you can achieve something, and you're going to walk out of the gym with this massive endorphin release, right?
Yeah.
All of these positives that you can take with you for the rest of your life. Improved bone density, lower lipid levels, better blood sugar control. All of these positives. Same goes for nutrition. You change to a cleaner diet, even if it's not a super clean diet.
Just a small improvement.
That's it. It's going to have all of those positive knock-on effects, and it's still going to improve your skin. It's going to improve your cellulite appearance. It's going to improve your body composition.
And how you feel as well.
That's exactly right. It's going to have all of the positive effects that you want from this treatment, plus 101 more.
100,
all by doing something that you have to do daily anyway. You have to eat either way, right? You have to eat. So making the better choice isn't actually any more difficult. Yes, sometimes it requires a little bit more planning, because let's be fair, if you're walking down the street, it's going to be easier to grab a pie than it is to grab a chicken salad.
I have not had a pie in fucking years. I can't remember the last time I had a pie.
Now you really want one though, right?
There was a time where I used to have, this was back in the day of being broke and young. I used to have a pie for dinner. That was my dinner. I'd have a pie and it was delicious. It was amazing.
That's the magic noodle state.
Yeah, exactly. Mee goreng. I had a big time of mee goreng. But that was before I knew anything. I was just surviving.
That's it. Like, if, I don't know, we all know, I think we all know the areas where we could improve, right? We all know that we have strengths and weaknesses when it comes to making choices that are going to benefit us. I think you and I keep trying to push people towards avoiding that instant gratification and sort of looking for the long game more frequently than we currently do.
No quick fixes. I would, in my mind, in my personal opinion, I would probably say that the RF treatment, minus the skin effects of it, which can provide some positive, but it depends why you're doing it. But I would probably say this is a quick fix, a Band-Aid approach, and you probably get more out of looking at what you're doing, in your day-to-day life, and what you can improve on there and make yourself feel better in other ways than more of a quick fix approach.
Basically, our wrap up is RF may improve the tone and tension of your skin, probably won't have a long-term effect on reducing your body fat or your cellulite. Small lifestyle changes will benefit all of those things, plus give you the benefits, all the other benefits of a healthy lifestyle that we've discussed earlier. So RF, we're not saying no, we're not saying it's no use to anyone. We're just saying that we think that there's probably better ways you can use your time and your money to give you a more long-term and permanent effect.
100%. But they're definitely hit us up with any questions, or if you've had this treatment and you've gotten some really good results or really negative results, we'd love to hear either sides as well. Tell us a little bit more about this topic as well.
Absolutely, we're all up for feedback, guys.
Always. And if you have any questions, definitely pop them below, and we will get to answering those as well.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. See ya.